Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV, and got to say, guys, City have been beaten by Spurs by a goal to nil. Horrible, horrible display from City. Terrible. I'm trying to get. Obviously, the game's just finished. I'm just trying to keep a little bit of calmness and coolness, but it ain't gonna last. Ain't gonna last. Okay. We said before the game, we questioned what sort of system are we going to play. We played crap system. Pep, that's on you. 100 million% on Pep. Okay? I've made some comments already. I'll read these and we'll talk about them. There was not enough desire, energy, passion, quality, effort, running, intelligence from City. Spurs wanted it more. They had more up there. Conte, is in hospital, and their assistant manager had more up there than Pep. Pep, again, has ballsed it up. He's absolutely outthought himself. Stupid. I said before the game, and this is me being calm, guys. I said before the game, if it works, he's a genius. If it doesn't work, I didn't call him an ass, but if it doesn't work, you're an idiot. And this was horrendous. You watch it, you watch the body language of some of the players. It was pathetic. And you know what? That's on Pep. You can't go around just blaming the players. It wasn't, let's not just talk about the goal and the cock up for that. You can't go around just blaming the players. It comes from the manager. It starts from the top. It comes from the manager. Yes, passion and motivation and everything else and desire and effort and workload has got to come from within. It's got to come from within. That's the minimum as fans. That's the minimum we demand as fans. The minimum. I didn't see it today. I saw headless chickens running around. I saw a few decent performances, but people working hard, not really supported by so many of that team. Look at that decision to put Rico Lewis at left back. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the kid did that badly, but Walker was gash. Walker wasn't that good. And right at the end, you're desperate. You're desperate to try to get something. And he goes and fouls someone and gets a yellow card, end of the game, after trying to be greedy. So many times, we were so slow in our build-up. So slow. It was horrendous, awful to watch. And all these happy clappers who come around saying, oh, you're not real fans, or how can you criticize Pep for everything he's done? That's in the past. That's in the past. It's in the past. You've got to look at the present and the future. And Pep ain't doing it. Pep isn't doing it. That decision to let Cancelo go, he was third choice. Okay? Cancelo was third choice. I'll put this up here. Pep allowed Cancelo to leave when he was third choice left back behind Ake and Laporte. Ake had been playing well at left back. Okay, we've got Stone's injury, fair enough. So you put Ake into centre back. What's wrong with Laporte? Or put Laporte out on the left. Ake or Laporte on the left, not Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis, if you want to play him on the right. Play him on the right where he's better than Walker right now. Play him there. Yes, I can understand why we have Walker to cope with Son in his pace. Walker just switching off again and again and again and again and again. And if I had time, I'd go again and again and again all the way through for the next 2 or 3 minutes because Walker kept switching off. Rubbish. At the back, all over the place at times, under pressure. Spurs played a predictable game because City are predictable. We are walking the ball around, tippy-tappy, We don't move it quickly. When we move it quickly, we put the other side under pressure and we look half decent. Okay? We were not doing that far too often today. It was horrible to watch. As I said, boring City. It has been boring for a while. Okay? We are far too reliant on individual brilliance. And when it don't come off, we are cack. Today, we were awful. Okay? And I'll go back to that decision. I put it up there. I started talking about it. You let Cancelo leave because he was third choice left back behind Ake and Laporte. And now you play Rico Lewis ahead of them. You play Rico Lewis at left back when we've got another left back, Gomez. You might not like Gomez. Well, guess what, Pep? Tell me if you didn't have a hand in his signing. Pep has to have been involved in the signing of Gomez. We don't make mistakes generally in our signings. So Pep has to be involved in that decision to buy Gomez, that left back. Okay? And then you don't play him either. So we got, for me, it's brainless. It was stupid. You've got Diaz on the bench. What's wrong with him? You've got Laporte on the bench. Play one of them at centre-back with Akanji. Play Aki at left-back. If you want to play Akanji and Aki in the centre, play Laporte at left-back. Do something sensible. Pep tried to be cute. Pep's tried to be cute. We play narrow. Lewis isn't out wide. Lewis is coming back into the middle. We need some width. We need some width. So you let him go. You let Cancelo go. Okay? I have no problem with letting Cancelo go. But then don't put what... Lewis doesn't play left back. Rico Lewis doesn't play left back. So why is he a go-to option after Cancelo goes? Why is Rico Lewis our go-to option at left back when we got Aki, who's played pretty well there? We got Laporte, who's half decent there. We got Gomez, who you might not like. Okay, you might say Rico Lewis is better than him, but we should not be resorting to playing Rico Lewis at the left back when Walker's gash on the right back. Rico Lewis should have been there. We came up with all sorts of different connotations. How are we going to play this? Are we going to play three? We're going to play three at the back. 3-2-1-4, 3-2-2-3, 3-4-3, 3-3-4, all sorts of things. It was crap. It really was crap from Pep. Okay, let's put some other stuff here. Look, that's my point. Crazy to play Lewis at left back and leave Laporte and Diaz on the bench. Lewis, I thought he played okay, playing out of position. I thought overall he's played pretty well. I thought overall it was decent from Akanji, and Aki made some great last-ditch tackles, and I thought Grealish had a very, very good game. He was dangerous. The rest, awful. Awful. Apparently Pep had to go at Mahrez at half-time. Why are you having to go at Mahrez, Pep? You should have got a mirror out, looked at yourself, and bawled at yourself. You should have effed and blinded at yourself, Pep, in a mirror, because it's your decision-making. You keep playing these players who keep underperforming. Can't blame the players for that. If you're going to keep picking them when they're underperforming, what pressure is on them? Rodri was awful. Awful. Even Bernard would have strolled around that pitch better than Rodri. He was awful. Guys, I'm keeping it as clean as I will keep it clean. But he was horrible. Horrible. Disaster pass from Rodri to Rico Lewis when he got robbed by Højbjerg. Yeah? Disaster of a pass. Rubbish. So many times, rubbish from Rodri. Absolute awful. Okay? But where's the pressure? Who's going to push Rodri out of his place? Can Pep turn to? He could have gone with Phillips. Rodri's played awful. Phillips, forget. Phillips, who come back fat after the World Cup. Okay? Couldn't get even training with the first team squad, I don't believe. He can't get on the pitch. So Rodri's playing awful. You're crying out for somebody to step in and play a decent game, and you won't bring Phillips on. You could have brought Gundogan on. We were awful that first half. Play should have been yanked at halftime. Pep does what he does. We watch a turgid, slow, inefficient, ineffective performance, and Pep just leaves them be. Pep just sits there, leaves them be. I put this out on Twitter. Arsenal opened the door to Manchester City. They opened the door to the title race. And what did we do? We slammed it back in our own faces. We said, hey, we don't need this leg up you're giving us. We don't need this advantage you've now given us. It's in our hands. We don't need that at all. I tell you what, Arsenal, we'll give it back to you. We'll give the advantage back to you. Spurs haven't been playing really well. The manager's in hospital, okay? And we let them boss us. We let them boss the game by being predictable. We knew how Spurs would play. We absolutely knew how they'd play. They would put some press on us. They pressed us heavy and hard, okay? We kept giving that ball away. They'd be tight at the back. They'd double up on us outside when we're out wide. They did all of that, and they'd hit us on the break. And guess what? I could have told you most of that would happen. That would be their plan. That would be Spurs' game plan. And do you know what? That's what we did because we allowed them to do it. What's Pep been watching for the last few years? Doesn't he realize anything? I don't care. I don't care how good a manager you are. And I can still say you're the best manager in the world. We've loved having you at City. But when you get it wrong and so blatantly stupid, imbecilically wrong as you did today, You deserve criticism. Nobody is above criticism. You can criticize me if you want. I might not like it. I might block you off the channel. Depends on how you criticize me. If you come out an effing blind, you get blocked. But doesn't matter how good you are as a manager. He's probably, in my opinion, surrounded by a bunch of yes men. Everybody too scared about their positions and the money they're earning to turn around and say, Pep, it's wrong. What you're doing is wrong. You're picking players who are well out of form. You know, Pep's turned around and said, a lot of these players, the motivation's gone after winning it so many times. Well, dump them. Put someone else in. Cole Palmer might be down on confidence and out of form. But I tell you what, he's going to still give it everything. He might be crap, but he'll still give it everything. There's a lot of players out there who'll give it everything. Joe Bloggs off the street will go out there and give it everything. This was BS today. Absolute BS. And to watch that, again, when our fans went to Southampton in the League Cup and we were abysmal there, absolutely horrendous, okay, I said the players should dig deep, Pep as well, and pay every single one of them their money back for their tickets. That's the minimum they should do. And again today, it was another diabolical, inept, turgid performance from City. What's the point of tippy-tappy and get passing? We had nobody running, no options. Haaland was making runs, no one's passing to him. Hardly any movements up front. I'm surprised Bernardo got a game and KDB and Gundogan on the bench. What we saving them for? I'll say this about KDB. I have said it probably for the last 2 or 3 years. He's not the same player as he was obviously 5 or 6 years ago, and he was incredible running games. Okay, but he still has that creativity, those moments of magic. And for all his mistakes, he's making a lot of bad passing mistakes. For all those mistakes, he's still got that creativity in those moments of magic. Who else is giving us that? Nobody. Grealish gave us a little bit today, but he was too quick to dive on the floor as well. He gave us a little bit more than we saw from other places around the pitch. Alvarez was awful. There's no point running around, showing effort if your intelligence and creativity and qualities and that. And he doesn't, I've seen it most of this season, he doesn't strike me as offering enough quality. Okay, maybe he needs more time, in my opinion, for me, or maybe I need more time to see him playing, to see what the quality is offering. I just see him running around a lot. Hey, I tell you what, you could have got Usain Bolt to run around a lot. You can get Roger Black to come out and run around a lot. You can get me in my 50s to come out and run my backside off. Okay, we need more than that. We need some quality, and he, for me, didn't offer the quality. That's my comment. Average, poor on quality, hard work and running around is what fans see and praise. It's BS for me. Riyad Rodri's been worse than awful, but we got no one to replace him. As I said, Pep pulled Mahrez off. Apparently, he was having a go at Mahrez at halftime. Is it Mahrez's fault that the rest of the team is shocking? Is it Mahrez's fault that Pep's strategy and decision-making has been awful? Mahrez has been quite comfortably the most consistent and reliable player of the last 5 or 6 games. He has assists, goals, decisiveness. He's the guy who helped us beat Spurs when they were 2-0 up at the Etihad. Okay, he's done so much, and you yank him off. Surely his quality in the other games deserved a little bit more time. Yank Bernardo off. To be honest, Alvarez should have come off before Mahrez. You bring KDB on, you go to a more natural setup with Grealish on the left, Mahrez on the right, Haaland down the middle, KDB and Bernardo supplying with Rodri behind them. But Pep doesn't do that. Pep does stupid things. Alec, very disappointing, mate. Very, very mild that. We won't win. Absolutely, Faris. But it's Pep's fault. It is Pep's fault. He has no one else to blame. No one else to blame. If the players aren't responding, get out of the club. He said he would. I'm not going out and saying Pep out, but he said if the players aren't responding to you, Pep, what are you going to do about it? What do? You send Cancelo off and put Rico Lewis at left back. Absolutely. You won't get him engaged. Haaland should not be coming back to get the ball. That was what Alvarez should have been doing. Haaland has to come back. I said it the other day when we were doing the long balls, actually, when Ortega was in goal, was against Arsenal, we were doing a lot of long balls. That was actually better than what we were doing because you don't make those stupid mistakes that Rodri made. Yeah, we were not beating Spurs' press. They were pressing us. We weren't. When we pressed them, we were half-hearted. The players don't know what to do, M2. And yeah, look, the players weren't great, but it all on Pep. I'm giving it 100% on Pep. No passion, says Ali. Extremely disappointed, mate. Goyo, more than disappointed. Such a crap game. It's been crap for far too long. Far too long. As soon as I saw the team, I knew the outcome. I was absolutely gutted, says Blackpool Blu-ray. Look, I had no one had any idea what Pep was going to do. Come on, I want anybody to say that they thought Rico Lewis would play left back. Who on earth would think he would play left back when Pep said we've got enough cover? The cover was Ake, Laporte at left back. One of them should have been at left back, not Rico Lewis. You sold him down the river. He had a decent game, but he didn't offer what we needed. Absolutely, Alec. Players are lost. I'll come back to the citizens' comment. Again, another crap performance. Haaland did nothing. Rodri crap. KDB gave nothing. City fans talking about winning the league. Their heads needs rest testing. Absolutely. It was BS. I'll say it a million times. It was Pep. It's not over yet, but we're throwing it away. No, Algerian Warrior. I had no problem Haaland being on the pitch. I said Mahrez should have been on the pitch. And salam to you, the Algerian Warrior, if you are from Algeria. Mahrez should have been on the pitch. It should have been, for me, Alvarez is the one who should have been yanked if you're going to put KDB on, not Mahrez, who's been consistent over the last few games. I'm not saying he's a 10 out of 10 player. Mahrez has been putting in 7s and 8s over the last 4 or 5, 6 games, scoring goals, assists, looking dangerous. He deserved to stay on. Ake was our best defender. Ake was brilliant, in my opinion. You know, Ake's going to probably get an 8 out of 10 for me. I thought he had a good game. Complacency, that's Pep's fault. Forget creeping into the squad. It's on Pep. I'm going to keep blaming him because it is his fault. It's his decisions. It's up to him to get the best out of the team, the best out of the squad. And if players aren't delivering, put somebody else in. If you keep playing the same players, keep chopping and changing, playing the same players who are ineffective, letting us down, then it's on you, Pep. You can't blame somebody else. You can't blame the team. It's on you. Yeah, Pep has a fantastic point. Fantastic point, Paris. Net spend is BS. It's absolute balls BS. Okay? Net spend is nothing. And Pep to come out in a press conference shows how naive, ignorant, and stupid he is at times. To come out and talk about net spend, it's got nothing to do with that. We should have invested in a left back. Okay? We did. We got Gomez. So I'll say we got Gomez. He hasn't lived up to our expectations. Fair enough. We got Gomez. I said last season, I wanted a new winger. I wanted someone who can take people on. We've let players go. Not the top quality players in Sterling, Zinchenko, and who's the third one? Sterling, Zinchenko, and Gabriel Jesus. Not top quality, but we let bodies go. We let 3 players go who've got a lot of experience, okay? We should have got a top-class winger. I'm not saying we should have got Mudryk or Kvaratskhelia or this person or that. We should have had somebody to put pressure. We've got no pressure on players. KDB is our creative man. He's getting dropped now. Rodri. There's no one anywhere near Rodri. There's no one pushing Rodri for his position in that side. Nobody. So Rodri can bum about and play crap and get away with it. He's had a poor season in the poor last few games to me, Rodri. Giving crap away. Okay? You know, that goal was on him. There's no, I mean, you can't blame Rico Lewis for another hospital pass. Hospital pass. Oh, look, Big Morgan. I'm not going that far yet, but I said in 2 years' time. See the Bison turn around at Fleetwood Dock quicker than Rodri. Look, Blackpool Blu-ray, he was awful. But what does Pep do? Phillips is on the bench. What the hell is Phillips on the bench for then? If he's not good enough to play for us, get rid of him. So many people. Diaz, Laporte, what are they doing? When you know you've got the setup wrong? Let's look at what Faris has said. Thought Ake, Akanji, Lewis, and Grealish. Yep, that's what I said at the top. I've said before the end of the game. Those guys, for me, were decent. Can't fault them. You know, they did what they needed. It was a horrible hospital pass from Rodri and some shocking midfield play. And that's coming from Rodri. Rodri's supposed to protect the defense. Defense were all over. Walker was gash. I can't believe it says Akash. You can't. I'm not saying Pep out, but Pep himself, Pep's own comments were, Pep said, If the players, if I find they're not motivated, if I can't connect exactly what I'm paraphrasing, if I can't motivate them or they're not listening to what I'm going to say, then I'll leave. Well, they're not listening to you, mate. If this is what you're telling, whatever you're telling them, if this is what you're telling them, then what you're telling them is crap and you should leave. If this is what, if you're telling them something else and they're not listening, then you should leave because they're not listening to you. You've got to do something. It's all on Pep. KDB and Rodri, just unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. The whole team, horrible to watch. The first 15 minutes sideways and backwards passing, then Spurs get one chance. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not saying they looked lost. They weren't supported by anybody. They had no one to pass. The biggest problem was there was no one to pass to. No one to break the lines. You know, we had a couple of decent passes in the second, but there was nothing. We're so slow. Cancelo didn't cost us games. Rodri and Pep did. Well, Cancelo did cost us. Look at that Liverpool game. That was horrendous defending. We were crap, says Alex Johnson. We've been crap too often. What has Diaz and Laporte done to deserve this? I empathise with Cancelo. I would leave too. Pepe's tinkering too much. Pepe's cocking it up. Algerian Warrior says, Pepe's an idiot, making the same mistakes in absolutely all these important games. We're chucking it away. I said on Twitter, Arsenal opened the door. We slammed it shut in our faces. And Pep having a go at Mahrez at halftime. Do one, Pep. I said, get a mirror, look in the mirror, slag yourself off because that was a horrendous team performance based on horrendous tactics and horrendous picking of personnel. It was just a mess. Well, I don't know what we've got left to play for. Don't get why Laporte and Diaz is not. Yeah, absolutely, Faris. I tell you what, I do it myself, not because I'm a genius, because I think I'm too good, and I think Pep thinks he's too good. He thinks I'll do this. If it comes off, I'll play Ricky Lewis at left back. If it comes off, everybody will be shouting that Pep is a genius. He's wonderful. He's incredible. He's the best manager in the world. He's too up his own backside to do it right. To do it properly. And I don't care he's top manager. I don't care he's been a decent player. He's won tons of stuff and great and all that. You deserve to be criticized when you get it wrong. And you know what? We as fans, we as watchers of the game, we don't know too much, but we know when we see a gash, horrendous, awful, garbage, tripe performance and horrible decision-making from the manager, horrible strategy, horrible tactics, too slow. You're giving Spurs so much time to get back into position, which is what they want. Run with it. Go quicker. Pass quickly. Spurs did it. Are they better than us? Are their players better than us? What it was the manager that goes better than us. Mr. Roll-Up says, seriously, in the big summer, no pace, no creativity, slow. But that's on Pep. That's 100% on Pep. We've won games this season because we've got individual quality. We've got moments of magic. We've got individual brilliance. That's what won us games. Were we good against Spurs the first time at the Etihad? No, we weren't. We were better second half when we put them under pressure, and then they capitulated. They crumpled, rolled over, and died for us once we got that early goal in the second half. Lucky goal. Okay? And then we rolled them over. Okay? But before that, we were awful. Hey, Mark Armstrong, absolutely shocking. Slow. It's so slow, it's painful to watch. Pep has to switch up. Well, it's been that for far too long. Mahrez brought us back into the last game against Spurs. Pep decides to take him off instead of the, I don't know what that first word means. Spin of Bernardo. Cheers, Chris. Media deserve to slate us. Absolutely, we don't deserve anything. No penetration. Yeah, absolutely. The guy's making runs. I saw one when he made a great run. Then Lewis had the ball. It wasn't looking for him. It's all heads down, tippy tappy, lose the ball. Tippy tappy, lose the ball. Panic. Give chances away. Mahrez wasn't great, but he's been the most consistent player we've had over the last few games. So in my book, he deserves to stay on. Pepe's to blame, letting Cancelo go. Cancelo has 2 assists. No, I agree, Akash. Okay, Pep let Cancelo go. He said we've got cover. The cover is not Rico Lewis, who hasn't played left back for us. That's not the cover. The cover is playing someone like Ake or Laporte there, or Gomez, who you bought for that purpose. The cover is not Rico Lewis at left back. That is not the cover. Haaland was... I'm telling you what, Alec, you wouldn't be happy if you were playing today. Edison does not make big saves very, very rarely. Pep likes to be the hero all the time. Needs to all the praise. Does it in the Champions League all the time. Did it in the Champions League final. Cost absolutely. He played with Sterling when everybody knew Sterling didn't deserve to be there. Everybody knew the player that should have been on the left was Foden. Everybody knew Rodri should be there. Pep didn't do it because he's too clever. Mr. Rollup says Gomez was a panic buy because we screwed up the Cucurella deal. Maybe so, but we bought him. Pep this time round in this transfer window said, okay, that we didn't want to panic buy. We don't want to buy somebody. We'll take our time and make sure we get it right. So on one hand, I say I agree, but on the other hand, I say we can't say it's a panic buy because Pep, we don't do panic buys. City don't do panic buys. Pep has told us himself from the horse's mouth. Alec Johnson says it's Pep's fault. Absolutely. It's awful. Terrible, says Jay Don. Absolutely, buddy. Since last season, I've been saying Pep should go, but I'm totally wrong, apparently. Look, I've criticized Pep. Pep deserves criticism. But if you go out on let's call it blue Twitter, all City fans, they give it you. They have a go at you, call you a plastic. My mate Patrick's had this stuff as well. They call you a plastic. They criticize you. They say you're not supportive. I always call them happy clappers because they always see the best. They always look for the best. I want to be honest. Media will have a field day. Hey, I spent the last couple of days or the last 24 hours trolling Spurs. What am I going to get? I'm going to get panned for it. I'm trolling Arsenal fans. Haaland made so many runs, no passes. Absolutely. There's nothing across the box. No passes to Haaland. Algeria Warrior says, I don't mind losing a game, but losing against a support side like Spurs make me sick. Absolutely. Very, very frustrated. We have finishes with me. The idiot Pep says he sees good things. Oh, stuff off, Pep. Pep's full of crap. I've said it many times, and I'll say it to any manager of opposition or ours. I see more of ours, so I can say he's talking out of his backside. Out of his backside. Pep won't wait so much for subs. Yeah, it's irritating. Roddy was awful. Couldn't believe it. It's terrible. Terrible. Very angry. Pep screwed us up. Pep screwed us up by not being sensible. He can't do it. And that's what's holding us back in the Champions League. It's holding us back. It's holding us back. Grealish is a useless buy. You would rather drop fouls and dive than pass it to opponents. That's true, Akash. I said that. But I think he had a reasonable game. But a reasonable game was getting fouls and getting past a few people and holding the ball. How many chances did he create? How many big chances did he create? Not sure there was many. Worst news, Spurs aren't that good, and it annoys me. It's worse than the Derby cheat loss, absolutely. The port should come on with KDB, and we have no outlet from the back. This is horrible. I'm done with this. It is horrible. I've said it. I can't believe he went with that. I don't understand. Pep says Abu Khalid Ali. Yes, they make mistakes, but where is the attack? KDB is not great. He can't even hold a ball. He's been awful, but he has his moments of magic. He's not the same player as he was 5 years ago. But those moments of magic, you were crying out for it today. Actually, when he starts games and he's rubbish, you're asking for him to get subbed because you say, well, he doesn't deserve to be there. But he still has those moments. He has that creativity. He has that magic. People on here slagging Grealish off. He was our best player. I said it. The best. But here's the thing about the Blu-ray. No one should be slagging Grealish off for today because he was one of our best players. Okay, I thought Aki was great. Some great defensive tackles. Great, but Grealish, he had that shot. Did he have a shot in the first half which was wide? The thing is, he was our best player, partly because the rest of them were rubbish. The rest of the team were awful. That helps Grealish look better. But he was one of the better players. Boring City. Laporte and Diaz left out absolutely ridiculous, Alec. Yeah, rather see Grealish play than one game wonder. Citizen. Hang on a minute, okay? In the last 6 or 7 games, Mahrez has scored, was it 4 goals and got 3 or 4 assists? A lot more than Grealish. And he's not been one game wonder. He's been our most consistent player, I would suggest, since Rico Lewis as well, since we came back after the break. Arsenal will slap us 3-0. Well, we're going to see what we're made of. Hi, Chris. Akash, just shut up. Jack Grealish has been our best player. I wouldn't say he's been our best player. I certainly wouldn't say that. Rico Lewis has been our best player in 2023. Rico Lewis and Ake have been our best players. They've been far better than Grealish. And I would actually say Mahrez has been better than Grealish because he's been more consistent. more reliable, more penetrating, more. He's had a lot more attacking interventions in terms of assists and goals than Grealish. So I'm not going to say Grealish has been our best player this year. Absolutely not. But he's probably been in our top 6. If we play like this, Arsenal rip us a new one. But it wasn't so long ago we ripped Arsenal to pieces. We weren't that creative, but we were comfortable against Arsenal in the FA Cup. Played like they didn't want to capitalise on Arsenal's drop points. It's crazy. It's only Tottenham. That's the problem, Mike. It's only Tottenham. Tottenham did us. Tottenham ripped us a new one today. Look, we were miles off Spurs. I'm not going to go with that. Akanji in his sleeve. He started the season as our best centre-back. So I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what games you've been watching. One of the biggest problems, what puts our defenders under undue pressure, is the lack of quality in attack, the lack of control of the ball in midfield and attack. It keeps coming back far too often, far too quickly to our defenders. Edison is another useless player. Every shot is a goal. Shot was near him. Alisson would have saved it. I don't know about that, but, sometimes I said, why don't you just play Moreno, kick it long? Because what's the point of the short passes? Here's the thing. People look at when it's worked, and every time it fails, every time it fails, they say, but look how many times it's worked. Well, look how many times it's failed. Don't just focus on that. When it works, do you turn around and say, well, look how many times it's failed? You got to have it both ways. Absolute WG, so slow. Diaz is no different to Akanji, says. Aki can't play let out of the back. Laporte was needed. Only Stones and Laporte can do this. No, Diaz can do it as well. Diaz can. Okay, when Stones and Diaz were playing together. Stones, I loved it. Stones was the one who carries the ball. You don't need 2 ball carriers. Stones was the guy who carries the ball out. The great thing about Laporte is he can carry it and he can do that long diagonal pass. But Stones, and the other good thing about it was when the ball was in midfield, Stones would come out and head it. He'd win the balls outside the box. Diaz would win the balls inside the box. I loved it. We lost. End of. Need new players, says Alec. I can't see City beating Arsenal. Pep's time is up. Boring football. Wow, lots of criticism of Pep. I don't see City winning the Champions League this season. Pep ran out of ideas and they're still trying different lineups in critical match. Absolutely agree. We should, by now, know what we're doing and be consistent. We should be on a roll. And we're up and down. We don't deserve to win it. That's the truth. The way we're playing right now. Play players at their position. Football is simple, not rocket science. Absolutely. When it works, you're a genius. You're a magician. When it doesn't, you deserve to get criticised. Our owners gave him too much power. That's why he's comfortable. Yeah, he's comfortable making decisions at Omar Abdurrahman. And I've said, where is the contrary opinion? I guess they're all yes men. Because, hey, if you come out and criticise Pep, argue with him, you'll be out on your backside more than likely. He's not going to keep you. And you want your money. If you're on 200 grand a year to be a yes man, hey, tell you what, I'll probably be a yes man for 200 grand a year. Dire performance. Those guys sitting next to him, big guy, can't he say anything to Pep like this? Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. That's that Andy Hoyle. That was rank. Haaland was awful. He ran around. He didn't get the ball. He didn't get any chances. And I think, the one opportunity he had was in the first half. He passed to Grealish. Grealish had 2 men on him. When Haaland could have had a shot, you might have said he might have been a bit greedy, but he should have had a shot. Instead, he passed it to Grealish. Grealish has 2 men on him. Chances gone. Haaland should have had a shot, even though he was about 25 yards out. Absolutely no one helps Haaland. KDB was awful when he came on. Haaland was bobbing. Well, he didn't have much supply. KDB not the same. Pure rubbish from Pep. Wow, laying into Pep. I hate to say, but Haaland has made us weaker. I said this before. Haaland has made us weaker as a team. He's a great goal scorer. We're still looking at how to play with him, basically. But as a team, we have a lot less control. Yeah, I can't argue with a lot of these comments. KDB's best is, and behind him, I've said that a couple of years. Alvarez is a striker. He plays instead of Haaland. We'll link up better. I agree, Akash, but Pep wants to play them both. I suggested we can play them both, but Alvarez out on the left, Haaland in the middle, Mahrez on the right. I said that's an option if you want to play them both, not the way he did it. Alex says worst result for a long time, even worse than the derby. I've calmed down a little bit now. Maybe we should practice counter-attacking for the Champions League. We won't win anything this season. Omar Abdurrahman says, clearly Pep have made this place play like robots, don't pass the ball forward. I've got to say this, guys. It helped us in the days when we had people like Zinchenko and Delph at left back when they weren't left backs, because we played systems. Anybody could slot in. And because we had a great system, because we had great players, that's how players who might not have been good enough could get by. We're not the same team. We're not the same. And so players who aren't good enough can't get by. Something is not working. Pep is responsible, says Alec. I said weeks ago, City won't win the league. Pep needs to go and take his boring sideways and backwards passing with him. Wow. I'm not going that far. Ake was the best defender on the pitch. Yep, Zohib, look, Ake, I've got nothing wrong to say about, nothing negative to say about Rico Lewis, Ake and Akanji. Walker didn't do it for me. Rico Lewis should have been on the right. We could have had Laporte on the left or Laporte in the middle and Ake on the left. I'd have been much, much happier. If Rodri plays a 5-yard pass to Edison, this result doesn't happen. Yeah, but they do the wrong passes. Sack Pep, says Richard. Well, I'm not saying that. Ants Leicester fan channel. Alan made so many good runs. Yeah, he never got the ball because they were all narrow looking, tippy-tappy, 5-yard pass, tippy-tappy. It were rubbish. The thing is, we have players for every position, but Pep won't play them, absolutely. Edison was horrible as well, unnecessarily rushed, and Højbjerg chipped him nicely. Thank God it was offside. Aidan O'Brien. Yeah. We won't last in Europe playing like that. Chris. Calvin Phillips must start next game. Surely he's not good enough. Does Edison know how to make a save? His save rate is the poorest in the league. It's not good, is it? Gomez left back. Richard Stevens is saying sack Potter, sack Pep, sack Klopp. Hey, if they sacked Pep and Klopp was sacked, would you get Klopp? That's a good one, isn't it? League is done. Salam says Algerian warrior. Hey, look, it's taken me a long time to come back and get up to your Salam. But to Washrakom, ça va? Maris was okay. Why take him off? Because Pep's Pep. He needs someone to blame. He's not going to blame himself. Citizen says Edison is average at best. Salah play has to change. Algerian warrior says, got tired of Pep since we lost the Champions League final because Pep decided not to play Rodri, and he played Sterling when Sterling didn't deserve it, and he played him on left when Foden should have played there. It's boring football, sideways and backwards. I'm just going to try and catch up with a lot of these comments. Need to spend. Ain't happening, Akash. You're bouncing Pep has to be able to rebuild now. This from a million miles from winning the league. Absolutely. Look, what does he need to rebuild? We're just going to import players. Look, we've got Alvarez, 22 years old, World Cup winner. We've got Haaland, 22 years old, best striker in the world. Or you can argue with him and Mbappe, but Haaland's best striker in the world for me. We've got Rico Lewis, 18 years old, coming through. We've got Foden, and Pep said he's one of the best young players he's ever seen. Yeah, we've got Palmer, who should be doing a lot better than what he's doing right now. We've got a lot of young people coming through. We've got a lot. I still say we need. Okay, I talked with Bernard about this on was it Friday night. We need a left back, a proper left back. We need Jude Bellingham, in my opinion, someone in the centre of midfield. We need a winger, top-class winger. That changes us. A top-class winger changes like that. Okay, someone who's got the pace, the dribbling ability, and a good shot on him. Good goal-scoring ability. Lad in Napoli's got, was it 24 goals and an assist this season in the league? That'll do for me, sunshine. Every loss, as we say, we match was worst match, but it seems we have quite many worse matches. The worst matches this season, at least 50% because of Pep's crazy new tactics, overthinking, of course, a Rodri mistake, absolutely. But we didn't create anything. That's the other thing. We didn't create anything. Feels like a 1920 season repeat. I hope we turn it around. I can't see it. Look, if we do it, people have a go at me, but I can't see it. We're not showing anything to show us that we can turn it around. City don't win anything and Pep will walk. See the citizens. Whereas the attack cannot produce, why not instructing Mahrez to drive from the wing? Yeah, that's it. We need to go at these players. Take them on. Take the risks. I'm still about 20 minutes behind. Wow. Hey, guys, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Give us a thumbs up. We didn't deserve anything. Spurs created more clear-cut chances. Absolutely. Port should have started. You need experience. You need some quality. Pep should hang his head in shame. It's clear out. Playing from the back doesn't work against Tottenham, and yet Pep does it again. So I said, long ball, no problem. Olifield does the same thing again and again and expect different results. I've said that before. Pep has no plan B. He's lost. This inverted fullback doesn't work. Centre should include at least one, either KDB or Gundogan to play. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was shocked with what we offered today. Diaz's captaincy is missed on the field. He's miles better than Akanji, and he might leave because Pep won't play him. Well, he might leave. I'm not saying he's miles better than Akanji. Akanji's been decent. But today, should have had Diaz or Laporte at centre-back, in my opinion. Pep is a good coach, but I really don't believe he's as good as we think. He isn't. It's because he's our coach that we raise him to this extra level. Yep, Dean, Haaland can't be happy. Pep's worst. I think he's had worse. Trust me. Go quicker, no pace. Absolutely. The only shot in the goal was Mahrez. The first half, to be honest, Mahrez should have done better. Walker's horrible as well. Can't dribble or pass the ball. We need a fullback, not someone who can abuse space and just defend. The thing is, he had one good cross. He had one good cross in that game. Was it to the far post? But nothing else. Slow and lethargic. Look, honestly, what we wouldn't give for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. Honestly, what we wouldn't give for those two players. You might think they're not good at defending, but hey, they did put a lot of crosses in for Haaland. A lot. Inquiry Man says, yep, it's on Pep. Lineup is crap. Changes. We got to the edge of the penalty and just passed the ball backwards. Absolutely. We should be getting in that box, driving at them. Cancelo's absolutely, Alec. Cancelo's left pathetic to watch. Trying to play out from the back against Spurs from front three. When are we going to learn so many basic mistakes as Ivan Bravo? Absolutely. By natural left back says, so here, we've been saying that for ages. We never see wingers making runs behind Grealish and Managerial and not those type of wingers. Absolutely. Earlier when we lost at this stadium, we dominated, created chances, missed pens, and then lost. Now it's absolutely. Pepper, mad professor today. Akash says Grealish is not our standard. We had Leroy Sané. How Sané played Grealish. He's not as good as Sané. I'll go along with that. But right now he didn't have any better on the pitch than him today. 8 days to prepare. You messed it up, Pep. If Grealish is our best player, we're not winning anything. We need a big overhaul. We're not going to have a big overhaul. 2 or 3 players is the top. Pepper's been given so much power. I agree. The thing is, when it works, it's great. Laporte and Diaz are not fit. They are fit. Pep's not picking them. Zizou, I can't answer that, man. He was crap today, Pep. So we need big rebuilding, apparently. KD Mahrez connection is the best threat. Yep, I agree. Ortega is 10 times keeper. Well, I said Ortega should be given a run and we'll play something different. Play long ball. A few players not interested staying. I would stop watching Man City matches until Arsenal match. Now it's clear Pep will not win the Premier League with this style of play. All other teams know how to play City. Yeah, teams know how to do it against us. Today they couldn't make a simple pass. Well, it's been like that for a few games. Yes, we do need some width. Abhishek, why are we not playing Laporte? Not to be disruptive. Akanji Laporte can build up. Look, I said Laporte and Akanji together with Aki out left, or Laporte on the left and Aki and Akanji in the middle. I have no problem with that. Cancelo would be laughing his balls off. We were too predictable. There's no creativity. No one tries to play through the ball, apart from De Bruyne and Gundogan at the time. Yeah. I said Spurs were predictable. We were predictable, but our predictability cost us because we knew what Spurs were going to do, and they knew what we were going to do. They were just better at what they wanted to do. We were just pants. We allowed them to press us too much. We knew they were going to try and press us and win the ball in the middle of the park and then hit us with pace on the break. And they did it time and time again. Pep's on being sports, same. I nearly stuck a finger up there if that's what he said. Balls. Alex is fuming. Abu Khalid Ali, KDB was scoring and assisting last season. This time his form very low. Same as Bernardo. Seen Barcelona affect his form too. I also would like to see Grealish in the middle, gives more options to us. And please, for God's sake, start Ortega instead of us. Absolutely, I've said it. Ortega hasn't really done us wrong. I'd say we revamped the team enough in the last 2 seasons. Too many players here too long. Need to recycle, not to worry about spending money. Well, I said, you've got to be careful about people being here too long. I've said, every summer, you need to buy minimum 1, probably 2 players that walk into that team. We did it. We got Haaland. He walked into the team. We had nobody else. Who walks into that team? Nobody. We needed somebody else to walk into that team. They are utter pants, mate. I switched off. Could not see City scoring for 10 hours. So glad to get it off our chest because I was, well, we got to go again. But it feels, it is like a kick in the balls. It really is. As I said, Arsenal opened the door and we slammed it in our own faces. Pep slammed it in our own faces. That's what is so annoying. Pep should revert to back four. He ain't going to do that deal. He ain't doing it. Shane says we don't want to play Haaland through. It's crazy, isn't it? We need pace and direct, which we didn't have. Arsenal fans will be laughing. Absolutely. I might as well put some of my own stupid memes up. I put the memes up a couple of days about when Arsenal lost or when Liverpool lost. Memes about Spurs. I put one up, a video about when Edin Dzeko scored 4 goals at the Lane. And now look at us. Feel sorry for Haaland, not to waste. Well, Mitoma's doing all right, and isn't he? Recently, he's got a load of goals, a load of assists, or whatever. Theo says whole team is so ref was crap. Yeah, guys, I'm knackered. Been blabbering on for 45 minutes. It was awful, really, really bad. Okay, and I'll say it again. Most of this is on Pep. His personnel selection. Have to criticize that. We had no idea before the game started, really, who was going to play left back. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect Rico Lewis to play left back. He played all right, give him his due, but I never expected that. We were so far off the pace. We didn't want it. The hunger's not there. It isn't, and we're too slow. And the thing is, we've been slow a bit like this before, but we've sped it up, created wonderful opportunities. We can go back and look at the games that not too long ago against Liverpool in the League Cup. We scored 3. We beat them 3-2. We could have scored 7 or 8 goals. Not a word of a lie. We could have had 5 goals that first half. Against, was it Leeds? We beat them 3-0. Then that was the game. Grealish had 3 great chances to score. He fluffed them all. Haaland could have scored 4 or 5, and he fluffed a hat-trick of chances as well. I can remember the goalkeeper saving 2 and 1 that he didn't control on its way through. So I think he still scored, a couple of goals, but he missed a bag full of chances. We were still creating. We created bog all today. And it ain't great. Leo says the formation reason for the downfall are 3-2 exactly matches their press. Why we need inverted midfield instead of somebody who can cross-play Gomez instead if you want someone to play inverted. Look, I agree. I don't know what to do. Because whatever we'll suggest, we're not the manager. We don't, I don't care about what they're doing in training. I want to see what they're doing on the pitch on the weekend when it really matters. We've stumbled our way through this season. We stumbled. We're very fortunate to be where we are, to still be within a shout, but we're chucking it away. We are chucking it away. The way we chuck that League Cup away, we're chucking the season down the toilet, and that's a real, real worry. Chaz says Pep beats himself. Why does City worry about the opposition this year? Absolutely. Next game, we need a reaction. What's the point? You don't need a reaction for one game. You need a reaction for the next 20 games. Does Pep egos kill this season? He has no humility to me. He's getting it wrong tactically. Selection, transfer, absolutely. He's not humble enough to admit that. He hasn't got the balls to admit when he's wrong. As I said, having a go at Mahrez at half-time. What, for not listening to Pep? Pep's crap tactics. Pep's crap personnel decisions. Okay? I said, get a mirror, Pep, at halftime. Spend 15 minutes slagging yourself off in the mirror and put a couple of subs on and get it right. Back to basics. I'll talk to you. Yeah, absolutely. United 3 points behind. Absolutely 3 points behind. Right, guys, I've had enough. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It would be lovely. Let's stick that up there. It would be lovely to get a few people more people to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you know when you're notified when new videos come out. Ray, do you think the 2021 season strategy will work when we start using double pivot, using Gundo? Why? Look, I tell you what. He's not fast enough, but why can't we play Gundogan with KD instead of Rodri? Because Rodri was shocking, and play KDB and Bernardo in front of them. We've got to do something subtle, but not stupid. What Pep's been doing is stupid. Rodri was awful. He couldn't get anything right. Bring somebody else on, and he hasn't got the balls to do it. He hasn't. You know, that first half was awful, and he left his players on, and then he blamed Mahrez for it, who's been our most consistent and reliable player the last 5 or 6 games. The guy who's made the difference. You take off the guy who's made a difference. You should have taken off Alvarez. That's the guy you should have taken off. Guys, I don't know where we go from here. We roll on to the game against Villa next Sunday. Hopefully, I've got a ticket. I'll be there. But yeah, everybody's down, dejected. We'll get over it, but this was our chance to get within 2 points of Arsenal, a chance to put them under pressure. We would have got the league back into our own hands because, yes, we still have to beat Arsenal twice. What if Arsenal beat us twice? It's gone. We look at it, you know, if Arsenal beat us twice, United overtake us. It's that serious. It is that serious. And Pep, you cocked it up. Hold your hands up and say you ballsed it up. Look, if the players listened to what you wanted them to do today, Pep, then it's on you. Because what you told them was a load of balls. If the players didn't listen to you, then it's on you, Pep, because the players aren't listening to you. So it's on you. And guys, don't ever be afraid to criticize the manager. Don't take it too far. Don't be silly about it. But never be afraid to criticize the manager because he's totally ballsed up and he's struggling this season. We got Haaland. We're not the same team. I said it ages ago. When Haaland was bailing us out, we were brilliant. Now he's not bailing us out because he was bailing us out. He was getting goals from nowhere, bailing us out. Now we look average. We've got the best striker in the world and we look average. We're offering him nothing. Absolutely nothing. You might as well put Moreno up front for what we were offering Haaland today. Absolutely junk. Guys, look after yourselves. Hopefully, Abu, I'm seeing them. I put almost everything up. I suspect if you put anything, if you put any swear words in, YouTube will just catch them. So it kind of depends what you're saying, or if you're spamming, or if you're sending too many, maybe YouTube catches them out. I don't know, but they are coming up. See you later, guys. I'm going to go and have my dinner and go back to car hunting. I'm going to look at some more cars. Cheers, guys. Take it easy, and we'll see you around Blues.